Here we go. This is going to be a tough subject, but we're going to need to speak about this. Karmelo Anthony has just been found guilty. Now, they are still waiting, apparently, on his sentencing. And I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of what happened at the trial. And this was the evidence that was presented and who was in the wrong and who was in the right. I mean, it sounds like basically everybody was in the wrong. But the point that I really want to focus on here, and this is something that I have been thinking of myself from time to time before this trial has even started, or shall I say before this case had even happened. I have always asked myself about the current racism that's going on in America. And that happens in American culture. I think that we can all agree. Well, maybe not all of us, but to the most part, I think some of us can agree that the country is definitely set up to where I feel that you are guilty until proven innocent. Now, I know that some of y'all might say, well, that wasn't the case for him in this trial. He was able to bail out. Yeah, he was able to bail out because he had raised the money. But had he not raised the money, he would still be in jail fighting this case. You are guilty until proven innocent. Now, can we say this? Can we really go on to say that the country is not racist, especially as we get down to the South? I mean, let's be honest. This man never had a fair trial. He never had a fair trial, man. They put an all-white juror on this trial. That was the first part of this trial that didn't make any sense to me. In Southern Texas. Now, I must tell you, man, we all know that the South is pretty much very racist. I've actually just spoke to a few people who are from South Carolina specifically. I know the case wasn't in South Carolina, but I'm just using this as an example. I know people who have traveled to South Carolina, and they have told me about the racism that goes on there. They've spoken to me about this. So it makes me wonder, are things really, as some say, going back to the way they were? Or have they never changed? Here's one political brother I want to pull up real quick. And we're going to go and look at what everybody's talking about and what's going on around the news. I mean, some of it I feel like we really don't have to speak on, but some of it actually is interesting. Isaac Hayes III, who I also do think this might be the son. He says, the verdict shows that the justice system has reverted back to the Jim Crow South era. Now, that's the question that I really want to ask is, has it really reverted back to, or was it always that? That's really what I want to say. Wait, let me play this clip real quick, and then we're gonna come back to this post, because this was definitely a very interesting post. We're not gonna play the Charleston White. I'm glad I listened to that because it was pretty dumb. Let's see what's going on over here.
Supporters gathered after the verdict, and at least one fight broke out. Security has been tight throughout the day. More than 24 deputies and Texas state troopers, they were stationed outside the courthouse. Barriers were also put up ahead of time as officials really prepared for possible demonstrations. Again, John, right now we are waiting for that jury to come back with sentencing. Before they left for deliberations, the lead prosecutor said, quote, "What you do here sends a message throughout the state state and throughout the country. Also, our reporter inside the courtroom saw Karmelo Anthony's father mouth "I'm sorry" to Anthony.
All right, we'll keep watching, Brooke, for the sentencing.
Yeah, we'll keep watching for that. That's
case that it was not a case about race, but you cannot deny that just the facts of the case and what we've seen play out since then and what we're happening now is because the defendant is black, the victim is white, and that's the bottom line. But again, this is what I alluded to when I said this has brought out what's bubbling right beneath the surface. The judge as well in this case said it was not a case about race, but you cannot deny that just the facts of the case and what we've seen play out since then and what we're happening now is because the defendant is black, the victim is white, and that's
let's play that one more time.
But again, this is what I alluded to when I said this has brought out what's bubbling right beneath the surface. The judge as well in this case said it was not a case about race, but you cannot deny that just the facts of the case and what we've seen play out since then and what we're happening now is because the defendant is black, the victim is white, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's about to get we're going to see what happens in the state of Texas during all of this. You know what I mean? Now, I will say this, man. I don't think, especially as being a black man, that it's smart to go and get in the faces of other people. Not at all. I don't think it's smart to be doing that, man. But you understand, we're going to have protesters. We're going to have people speaking on this. We're going to have people that are very upset on both parties about what happened. It's very unfortunate for both people. I will go ahead and go out there and say, because I have heard other people say this, that it's unfortunate that some of these men out here, especially these young men, do not understand how to fight. There's no reason to be carrying any type of thing on you. It would actually be better if you learned how to defend yourself properly in the proper way. And I think that that's the problem with what's going on these days, is that we have too many people, man. Too many people who want to carry weapons. But listen, at the end of the day, let me break this down for you. I don't think that it's necessarily just their fault. I think that society and the system portrays people to be violent. I think that America is a very violent country. Now, this could be happening everywhere. And don't get me wrong, man. There's things that I love about America. There's places that I love to visit. I do love certain things about here, you know. There are some great things about America and American culture. But let's be honest. When you fall victim to the justice system, especially if you are black, you will most likely be dealt with. And I know some of you are going to say, well, look at what happened here and look at what happened there. And look at this incident. And then, yes, then we had the other issue that we were talking about earlier about what happened in South Carolina. You know what I mean? Do y'all remember that? The incident that happened in South Carolina? Do we remember that? Where the kid, the teen, the black teen too, gets gunned down by an Asian employee. And furthermore, after they looked into this trial, they said that the kid didn't even steal anything. Go figure on that one. Did he not steal or did he steal? It's kind of hard to understand what happened necessarily in this situation. Just adjust this real quick. Did he steal or did he not steal? Nonetheless, the kid gets gunned down. Okay? The jury finds the Asian store owner not guilty on all charges. He goes free. Where we have this situation with the Karmelo Anthony situation, found guilty as charged. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with what happened. Nah, I think that, like I said, man, these kids got to go back to learning how to fight. I don't know. Maybe they got to start more boxing leagues in the city or something like that. Yeah, man, the complexities of the race and the justice system. That's what needs to be spoke about here. That's what we need to talk about. Is the system really designed to make you guilty until proven innocent? Even though I know that a lot of us will say that you are innocent until proven guilty, but we know that this is not how the system works. Listen, man, what they did to this man, and I mean the young brother Karmelo, what they did to him was very similar to lynchings of what they used to do in the 50s. This was very similar to that. And this brings me to the other point of what I was saying earlier, is why do black people, or people of color, shall I say, but you know what I'm saying, mostly black people, why do y'all continue to live in the South? Now, I understand that the South is very slow paced and has a more of a quiet lifestyle. I am aware of that. But I'm also aware of the fact that the South tends to be a little racist. Like I said, from all my friends that are coming out of South Carolina that tell me about this all the time. They tell me about this all the time. Let's go to some more clips. I'm going to pull up some more clips. Hold on. We'll go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Not sure what side of TikTok I jumped into, but we'll take some talk. We'll take some calls.
Motherhood. We're on motherhood over here.
Oh, I guess I'm on the wrong subject. I thought somebody was trying to talk to me about what was going on.
What subject you're on?
We're talking about what happened earlier today with this trial, unfortunately. We do a lot of political talks and commentary over here.
Oh.
But shout out to motherhood. Hopefully if you guys raise your children right. That's what we kind of talk about over here too. You know what I mean?
We're trying. Yeah. We're trying our feral kids.
Nice. Well, you guys go and enjoy the day. I know this subject's a little dark, so I don't want to intrude on what you guys have going on. But I appreciate that, though. It's always nice to see the beautiful mothers out there. Shout out to all the beautiful moms.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Do we have to leave or? Are you leaving or do you want us to leave?
Oh, yeah. I'm still figuring out how to work this whole thing, but I guess you guys might have to disconnect.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. See ya. Thank you. All right. Not sure how that happened. We jumped in a whole other section of the talk. But that's good, though. That's good that there are mothers out there that are doing their thing. Because that's what the whole topic of this is about raising your children correctly. We have to raise our kids right. I mean, this is definitely a situation of kids just not being raised correctly. And I understand, man, when you're young, you probably don't really have anywhere to go, nothing to do. But it's also like, yo, you must realize at the end of the day, where are you raising your children? Be aware of that as a parent, as a mother. And let's be honest, man, this is a whole nother video that we're going to have to do later on. But we understand that most of these young men out here that are being raised are probably being raised by single mothers. So again, shout out to the single moms. They're probably most likely being raised by single mothers and not knowing how to carry themselves as men. This is why we have this channel, The Highly Evolved Man. That's the whole reason why I had to feel like I had to jump on and do a talk on this. We are not leading the young men to where they are supposed to go. We're not teaching them values. We're not teaching them the rules. We're not teaching them how to defend themselves properly. I was just saying this to some people that I was coming up with, was that I remember that there was a time where you used to get frowned upon and laughed at if you carried guns. If you carried a gun and thought that it was tough and that you were brave because you carried a gun, you were considered a P word. Or shall I say, so I don't use any profanity on here, you were considered a wimp. Now we have a situation where there's people out here now that will come up here and they will say, oh, I don't carry guns, or I don't fight, I carry guns, right? That's what people will say. They'll say, oh, they'd rather carry a gun. They'd rather brag about carrying a gun than knowing how to fight. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the system and the culture that we are in now. So this is probably the reason why the crime rate has been jumping up at such a rapid rate. Now, like I said, I feel like they were both in the wrong, if you ask me. If people say, oh, well, what's your opinion on this whole trial? My opinion is that they are both, or they were both in the wrong. I think that maybe one of the gentlemen shouldn't have been there and should have just left when they told him to leave. But the other one shouldn't have probably put his hands on him. Yo, it says in the court documents, I didn't really go thoroughly through the whole thing because, like I said, I'm not trying to speak about the case here. What my talk is more so is what's going on with the racism in America. That's what I'm more on here about. But my point is this, though, is that, yeah, you can't go and put your hands on people, man. You never know what this person is planning or what they had going on in that day. Clearly, he was on something that day because this dude was carrying a knife, right? Or you got other people, like, you don't know what people are doing or what they're carrying or what they got. So I feel that they were both in the wrong. You can't go put your hands on people and not expect that something could happen. Especially in this country. Especially in this country, man. So, but then again, it's also like, but you can't go and do certain crazy things to people and then expect that you're going to get off. Man, they drilled this brother to the ground, man. They said, hey, we're going to put an all-white jury on your ass. This is why the really smart, intelligent ones know to where you shouldn't even get yourself involved in a situation like this. Because if you get yourself involved in a situation like this, it's probably really a no-win situation for you unless you have the money to hire some of the best attorneys ever. Clearly, he didn't have that. Clearly, he did not have that. As a matter of fact, I think some people said that they spent their GoFundMe to go on trips. The parents were spending his GoFundMe account on extravagant trips. Now, I don't know if that was true or not, but that's what they were saying. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Make sure you guys give some likes and subscribes so we can get this going. Like I said, man, these are usually topics that I don't like to speak about too much, but I feel like we have to. We have to speak about this, man. This is, and it's a big deal of what is going on in this country. Because right now, it's making us think. Is there a problem with the justice system in this country? I will say yes. And look how this white dude came to the courthouse protesting against these black people wearing an American flag polo shirt. And this dude hopping around in his face doesn't make it look any better. And the white guy is just staring at him, saying to himself, "Don't touch me. If you touch me, then it's on. I'll shoot you." He's just looking at him like, go ahead, you could jump, you could dance, you could do all that stuff that you want to do. I'm talking about the protesting for those of you that can't see the video. The protesting that was going on outside the courthouse. He's just doing all this jumping and talking and staring him in the eyes. But the older white man is standing there saying, as long as you don't touch me, I ain't gonna shoot you. When you got a white man that's just standing there like that, looking at you and not intimidated by all these black people jumping around and dancing around him, best believe he's strapped. That white man got a gun. There's no doubt about it. He's like, as long as you don't touch me, as long as you niggers don't touch me, I won't shoot. Yo, man. Like I said, I know. This is a dark subject, but we got to cover it, man. We got to cover it. Because this is what is going on in America, and this is what has been going on in America for a very long time. Which will bring me to the tweet or quote or whatever you want to call it that Isaac had said. Let's run it back, shall we? There's a lot going on, man. A lot going on, too. Trump going to the Knicks game, getting booed. Everybody saying that the energy changed. We'll cover that in a later topic. But, yeah, man, a lot going on, man. Not to mention the wars going on, too. Yo, it's getting crazy out here. He says the verdict shows that the justice system reverted back to the Jim Crow era. Hold on for just a second. Let me just sip my water on this. He says reverted back to the Jim Crow era. And again, my point is this. Did it ever really revert back? Or possibly has it always been the Jim Crow era? That's the point that I really want to ask. Because he's saying like, oh, it has reverted back to the Jim Crow South era. When did it ever change? I mean, come on, man. Like, now that we're speaking about it, let's just look at the Knicks game last night at Madison Square Garden in New York. That looked like a whole bunch of house Negroes up in the place. You got a bunch of black men playing a sport where all these white Jews sit on the sidelines clapping and screaming and yelling? Yo, if I never saw something that looked more like a slave trade, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, is that too technical? Yeah, I know. Sorry. I shouldn't not sorry. That's what it looked like, man. Jay-Z giving those hugs to all those old white billionaires. You don't even see Jay-Z hug his own people like that. And I'm not here to try to clown Jay-Z, but you gonna tell me that the house Negro thing hasn't changed? Oh, the house Negro thing is very much in effect. This is what I've been trying to tell some people. The slavery days is not over. Oh, I know some of y'all got mad when Kanye said that slavery is just a choice. Did y'all think that what he said was not true? Maybe he just didn't word it correctly. I'll say that. But I think I understand what he was saying. Yo, let's not forget, this man had an all-white jury who were also, from what I researched so far. I'll fact check this. You know, y'all can fact check me in the comments, tell me. But from what I'm understanding, an all-white jury that was over 50. Like people said, you're going to tell me that they couldn't find nobody that was like of color to switch it up a little bit? I mean, can we make it a little salt and pepper? You're going to mean to tell me that nobody of color? They don't even have to be black. Can we just say Latino? Nobody of color at a young, under 35 could be in the juror selection process. But then we ain't even gonna say the names. But we got this white kid that goes and shoots up a BLM movement, and oh yeah, because it was people of his own that he, you know what I mean, did his thing, whatever it was to them. He gets found not guilty. But this kid goes and picks his jury, whereas this man has a jury that's selected up against him. I know, we already getting flagged. On TikTok. I already know. I'm not surprised. I already knew this topic was going to get flagged. But, you know, like I said, we had to talk about it. That's the reason why I started this channel. I didn't start this channel to do basic gossip. There's some things that we can talk about that are gossip, but there's some things that need to be spoken about. Okay? And this is one of them. So let me read the tweet for you guys so you guys understand what's going on for those of you on the talk. He said that he believes, and this is a black man that's saying this, by the way. I'm just reading what he said. He said that the system has reverted back to the Jim Crow South era, which I disagree with. I think it's always been there. He says it is no longer about evidence. It is no longer about right or wrong. Could be. It's about keeping racial score through the prosecution and imprisonment of black people. That's a little dramatic, I will admit. It was no surprise that an all-white jury, which is what we are speaking about right now, it was no surprise that an all-white jury would find a 19-year-old kid, I believe he was 17 at the time, who was bullied and harassed by two, I don't know what the height has to do with anything, but he says by two bullies guilty while he was minding his business. I'll admit, I don't agree with a lot of this because maybe he wasn't necessarily minding his business. It sounds like he went into the tent from what like I said, I didn't really go into the whole case And I'm not trying to speak about the case. I'm trying to speak more about the racism and what is going on in American culture. But I will speak on the fact that I did look a little bit into the details of this case, and it looks like he went into a tent where they asked him to leave. So I don't know if he was necessarily minding his business. Because, hey, if that's their tent and they tell you to get up out of there, maybe you should leave. And if he doesn't want to leave, and I agree too, the guy put his hands on him, then maybe you should have fought instead of pulled out a weapon. Azamatas, Buckshank, thank you for your comment. You said there was a Mexican and a Korean. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Single moms raise sassy sons. Yeah, I believe you on that. I wish, if you're still here, I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't know if I really agree with that. Even though one person has said that there was an Asian and a Mexican, or a Korean and a Mexican, it wasn't all white. Well, a lot of people are saying that it was all white, but Asian people, it depends upon where they're raised, and I'm assuming Texas. Come on, man. Stop it. Did you just forget? For you, and I gotta say this to you, and if you jump back in the comment section, I will address you. Did you forget that an Asian just got off? Now, I don't know exactly what his nationality was, but he just got off for taking out a black teen who allegedly took water from his store in the South. A young black man is put on trial, and somehow the burden shifts from what happened to him to why he should not have defended himself. This is kind of tough, though, because a lot of people will say, well, did he have to use the force that he used? That's the question. The facts become secondary. The optics become everything. People will tell you not to make it about race, but race has always been a part of history, story in America. But race has always been part of story in America. Yes, it has. This case right here was definitely about race. This case right here was definitely about race. Again, I'm not trying to say who was right and who was wrong. I'm not trying to say that. The hard truth is many black people no longer believe they will receive the benefit of the doubt when their freedom is on the line. You just now came to that conclusion? This part right here. The hard truth is that many black people no longer believe they will receive the benefit of the doubt when their freedom is on the line. That's the funny part to me. It's not funny, actually. I should say this instead. It's the interesting part. You really think there was ever a time when black people could have freedom in this country when you are sitting in front of a trial? No. Unless you're a celebrity. Unless you are a celebrity and you have money. Money. Moolah. The moolah, baby. Unless you have that, you have no rights here, man. Y'all need to stop with this. I'm actually surprised that some people write some of this stuff. I gotta tell you, I disagree with a lot of what this guy is saying. And he's a black man. He's a black man, and I disagree with a lot of this. He said the hard truth. Okay, we already said that part. And the verdicts like this are exactly why. At some point, we have to stop pretending that everyone is playing by the same set of rules. Duh. At some listen. I don't know, man. It's a tough trial. I want to know what some of your thoughts are. What are some of your thoughts? Please tell me in the comment section. And don't forget to like this video because it helps get the algorithm going so we can get more people up in here. So make sure you guys like the video. Yeah, tell me what you guys think, man. Let's just hear what some people are saying outside of the courthouse, you know.
What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for words. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
It's like they said. She got 5 boys. It's like how we were just on another call earlier. Well, then, you know what you got to do? Raise those boys right. Like one person that said in the comments, though, single moms raise sassy men. That might be true. That's the reason why we have this channel right here. For the men that grew up without fathers, here we are.
Don't nobody want to hear about what we do to each other. We talking about what they doing to us. White folks kill white folks. Mexicans kill Mexicans. We ain't trying to hear no cool shit today. Go over there with them white folks with that. This is a racist ass country. We're in a racist ass state. This is a racist ass court. There ain't nothing else to talk about. When has a white boy been before an all black jury? Tell us, media. Tell us, white.
Hey, we got a winner. We got a winner. When have we seen a white boy in front of an all black juror? No lies told, though. No lies told. This is what I'm saying, y'all. She's right about this. This is a racist ass country, man. You see, this is the reason why we have to teach people to be a little bit smarter. But I have said this too, though. I have said this too. I don't think that it's just a racist country anymore. I mean, I still think that racism plays a part. But I will say this. I don't think that America is just a racist country anymore. I think that America is also we already know this is a capitalist country, but I believe that now they don't even care, like whether you white or you black or you Latino or you Asian. I think now we're reaching a point where it's all about, are you rich or are you poor? And if you're not figuring out a way to become rich, then you're falling into the traps of society. I'll give you an example. Hence, is the reason why the gas prices are so high. The gas prices are so high for a reason. Now they're going to tell you it's because we're in a war, which is true. It is true that we are in a war. But not only are we in a war with what's going on in other countries, we're also in a war within the U.S. It's a mental war. It's a mental war that's happening right now. We've yet to see if it will escalate into something else. We've yet to see that. I'm going to tell you right now, in some ways, it's kind of scary, but in some ways, I feel like it's needed too. In some ways. Now, do I want to go through? Not really. Not really. I don't want to go through it. But I understand that it may be what is needed because the generation has gotten so soft. The men have gotten so weak out here. It's almost gotten to the point to where, I mean, come on, man. We got these movies now even coming out with Supergirl. You got a female version of Superman coming out in IMAX. It's gotten to the point to where it's like, oh, wow, and we're actually okay with this? Like, back in the days, we would protest against this. Like, what the heck are you doing? having a Supergirl movie. Or Stephon Diggs, the NFL player, wearing women's clothing in a picture, carrying not only a purse, but a pink purse. Should we pull the picture up? Yeah, not only was he carrying a purse, he's carrying a pink purse. Let me pull it up just for those of you on YouTube so you guys can see. This is ridiculous. You won't be able to see on TikTok, unfortunately, but we'll get back to the point. I mean, even the poses. I'm looking at it right now. Even the poses are gay. Okay? And we're allowing this? Hold on. Make sure you guys can see this. We're allowing this? We're saying, yeah, it's okay, man. Act real gay. Act real feminine. Dude is posing like a chick, standing there with his shoulders crossed, posing like a woman. And then on top of it, not only does he have a purse, but he's carrying a pink purse. And nobody's saying anything about that. So yes, my point is this, is that, yes, man, I think that we have now reached a time in society where we are creating weak men. Unfortunately, some of these men even play for the NFL. The NFL used to be considered a manly sport. Now it's starting to become a gay sport. So I see where we're headed in a way. We're headed in a different direction right here. But my point is this, though, to go back to this case. Racism in America? Yes. Definitely, man. We have gotten to the point now where you mothers have to try to raise your sons correctly. And they can follow us, the highly evolved man, to learn how to become men. Because, you know, these are things that our fathers didn't teach us. Trust me, I'm working on a lot of things right now that seem to be working for me. You know why? Because I study a lot, and I study those that are successful, which is what we should be all doing. Let me tell you this too, man, long story short, or to kind of wrap it up. Because I think I'm good on this subject. I don't want to talk about this subject too long. Unless you guys want me to. I don't, you know, you guys got to give some likes. Give some likes if you want me to continue on this subject. This is what helps get more people out here. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys like the video. Follow the channel so we can do some more out here. Because like I said, man, I don't think anybody out here is going to be speaking the truth as of to like what I am speaking. And that's why I'm out here saying this, man. Because like I said, man, we have reached a point now where, I mean, what's going to happen here? Most likely people are going to probably protest. People are going to talk trash. People are going to yell outside, talk about how racist the country is, and then what? Nothing happens. If anything, maybe there'll be a lot of protests, and there'll be a lot more fights and stuff like that going on or something like that. Who knows? And I'm not saying that I want any of that to happen. I'm just saying that that's probably what could happen. Who knows? And then what? In a week or two, everybody's going to forget about it, except for those that are the families that were affected, unfortunately. Everybody's going to forget about it and move on until the next thing happens. This is the cycle on repeat of what is going on in American culture. But my point is this, is can we dig deeper into the source of what's happening here? And what is happening here is that I think that we need to look at the violence and we need to look at the racism that goes on in this country. And as a highly evolved man, you need to be smart enough to not put yourself in this situation. Thank you for the likes coming in. I appreciate it. The likes help us get more people up in here. So thank you, man. Yeah, we got to be smart enough to not put ourselves in this type of a situation. I'm going to let some of y'all on in just a minute because I do want to hear some of your thoughts. Make sure you guys tell me in the comments what y'all thinking. Make sure you guys get some likes, man, so we can get more people up in here. It helps get the algorithm going. So make sure you guys double tap that screen. Double tap that screen to get more people up in here. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, man. Nah, I could get this lit right now, man. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Carrie. Appreciate you. And like I said, man, I'm not really talking about what happened at this trial. Thank you for the likes coming in. I'm not really talking about what happened at this trial or if who was right or who was wrong. They were both wrong if you ask me. Thank you for the likes, Carrie. I really appreciate you. Hopefully you follow and subscribe to the channel because we're going to do more real talks like this. Listen, should he have fought the dude? Yes. He should have fought him instead of did what he did. I don't want to say the words because I don't want to get the video flag. He should have fought the guy. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you, Carrie. He should have fought the guy instead of did what he did. And like I said, we are not teaching the proper self-defense. But this is the main point of them, the highly evolved man, is that you should make sure that before you make this type of a split-second decision, that it could affect the rest of your life.
Who have taken Karmelo.
It could. So you have to really make sure that you think twice, maybe 3 times. Think about it multiple times before you make the decision to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take out this knife, or I'm going to take out this gun, or I'm going to pretend like I'm hard. Yo, man, it almost makes me wonder, how is it that we can see what happens in this court system and what happens in society, and people still have the nerve to, especially these rappers out here, they have the nerve to still walk around promoting guns and violence in these rap videos. And then you see what happens to people like this that portray that lifestyle. What happens to them, man? You looking at spending the rest of your time behind bars? It baffles me. And somewhat, I think that is the reason why what happened to this man happened, was because they were basically sending out a message. There was a message that's being sent out saying basically, if you act like this is what's going to happen to you. This is what we are going to do to you if you act like this. You want to do this? You want to act like this? This is what's going to happen to you. And especially the fact that he did it in the city and state that he did it in. Thank you, Cherries, for the follow. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys send some likes and subscribe so we can get some more people up in here. Thank you, though, for the follow. Appreciate you, Cherries. What I'm speaking on, too, right now, again, for those of you that are just joining in, what I'm speaking on right now is the racism in this country. And I also want to say this real quick, too, while I'm on the subject, because I've fortunately have been pretty much around the world. And I want to tell you that America is a very racist country. Now, there's other countries that are racist too. That's one thing I have learned, is that there is racism all over the world. But it's a different type of racism. Okay? It's a different type of racism. Even black people are racist of black people. Black people in Africa, they're racist of black people from America. That was one of the weirdest racisms I ever experienced. Same thing with France. Black people in France don't like black Americans. So we're even like racist of our own people in other countries. But so you're gonna experience racism all over the world. But I gotta say though, the difference is, in some ways, I think in Europe it could be similar. Russia, definitely. We saw about that Brittany Griner thing that happened. But what I will say though is that in American culture, if you get caught up in a situation like this, and hopefully you're a highly evolved man and you don't, but if you get caught up in a situation like this and you don't have a good attorney or a good team with you, just realize that you could possibly be screwed. Cynthia George, thank you for your comment. You said he only got 35 years, 17. Oh, so that's what they gave him, Cynthia? I haven't checked yet. I know that they were still looking. You said only 35? That's life. That's life. Anything over 20 is that you're done. Thank you for your comment, Cynthia. Thank you for your comment. Let me look that up real quick. I just want to fact check that. Thank you for your comment, though. Yeah, I'm reporting this live, breaking news. Since I've been on. Yep, you're right. Thank you. Thank you for your comment, Cynthia. She has given us the story. We are getting it now as we are speaking. Okay. That's the rest of your life. Come on, 17 years. You're going to do at least 17. So that means that he's, how old is he? He's 19, 20. So let's just say 20, right? So by the time he's 30, almost 30, is the time that he could be eligible for parole, huh? Carrie said she definitely don't have kids. Yeah, man, make sure mothers, single mothers. It's funny because I don't know if when you guys jumped on, but I had like this single mother convention that like added me. I thought it was somebody that was like trying to ask me a question, and it was a single mother convention. I just thought, what are the odds of that? But I was like, hey, what a coincidence. And I believe there's no such thing as coincidences. Raise your children right. Yo, I'm gonna give you guys a word of advice that somebody gave me that I thought was one of the most brilliant advice I ever heard. And she basically said that if you don't raise your children correctly, or you don't discipline your children, the system will for you. So make sure as parents that you discipline your children, because if you don't discipline your children, the system will be there to discipline them for you. And that's what we're basically seeing right here. But yes, Carrie says that she definitely does not have kids. Possibly not. Cynthia, if you're still with us, can you answer that question? Do you have kids? Yo, I'll say this, man. I have kids. And what I'll say to my kids is learn how to fight. And sometimes if somebody pulls a weapon out, learn how to run too. There's a time to fight and there's a time to run. There's a time, sometimes you should run. Oh, you want to be tough? You want to be tough? Yo, if you see a bunch of people pulling out guns and you don't have a gun, run. Run. Cynthia says that, yes, you have adult children, 50 through 42. Oh, okay, so you must be a little older. You must be a grandmother. If you got children that are already in their 40s. Shout out to the 60-year-olds. Nice. Okay. I like that. Hold on. Yeah. Thought about that. Great grandmother. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how it is. Yeah, well, before I jump up, and I was kind of going for a minute on this. Yeah, you guys got to raise the children right. Raise the children right. Thank you for the follow, Cynthia. I appreciate you. That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. These children obviously were not raised correctly. Hold on. I'm going to play a couple clips for you guys to listen to. Let me see what you guys think about this. I want to hear what this gentleman had to say outside of the courthouse. I want to hear what he had to say. Thank you for the likes coming in, though, and thank you.
What do you want us to do at this point?
Let's play.
What? I'm lost for words. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys.
It showed very clearly that a black boy was allowed.
I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more.
I'll tell you what to do. Raise your kids right. That's what you got to do. All right, here, listen to this and tell me what you guys think. Thank you for the likes coming in. Thank you, Cynthia, for the follow. And I'm going to come back to speak on this verdict real quick. You know, I've been going for almost about an hour right now. But before I jump up out of here, I'm going to definitely speak on what I feel about this verdict, because I think that it's definitely still life. Now, this kid is actually lucky that he actually got the possibility of parole, because there's a good chance where he could have just not even have gotten that. So he's actually fortunate that he actually got the chance to even see the light of day once. And if he gets out before the age of 30, which I kind of think could be a possibility, they want him to do a little bit of time, obviously, and they want him to reflect on his decision making. They obviously want him to do a little bit of time. But I'll say this. He does have a chance to get out. You know why? Because I think that they could see that this man was probably bullied. He probably told them not to touch him. I did read that part, and the witness did go on the trial or the stand and did say that. So he said not to touch him. The guy touched him anyways, and that's why I said, hey, you got to be careful who you put your hands on. Be aware that there's a possibility that if you put your hands on the wrong person, there could be something happening. So you better be ready for that. You better be ready. Just like that white dude that was standing outside the courthouse and had on them black people up in his face. He was just standing there. Like, as long as you don't touch me. As long as you don't touch me. That dude looked like straight up that he had a gun. Straight up. Anybody that acts like that has a gun on them. Like, listen, man. I've been in this game long enough to realize that, you know, and I like to make a lot of smart decisions. I like to make a lot of smart decisions. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't put it past anybody that they may not be strapped. Especially if somebody's standing like that. If I see somebody standing like that outside of a courthouse with all these black people around them, and on top of that, you're an old white man, I'm like, for sure this dude got a gun. For sure he got a gun. All right, listen to this and tell me what you guys think. I'm going to be right back with you before we go to our little break.
black. It showed very clearly that a black boy was allowed not one black
I'll be right back with you guys.
on a jury. An all white jury.
Yeah, that's
Convicted
the point we
him.
want to make clear.
It showed very clearly that a black boy was allowed not one black soul on a jury. An all white jury convicted him in 2 to 3 hours. We know that they did not prove their case. They are currently sentencing Karmelo Anthony, but we know that the Next Generation Action Network put the first $10,000 towards an appellate attorney. And we will fight Collin County like hell. I respected this process. I allowed and called for peace in this process. But Black America should be very upset about what went on today. Now, before all of the internet lawyers and before all of the interpretation of the situation, I'm only an advocacy leader. I'm not an attorney. I can only help families be able to navigate these processes when they find themselves in this type of situation. I can only allow lawyers to be what they are, lawyers. I can't instruct them. I can't stop them from doing anything. I have to respect the process just like anybody else. But what we saw today was flawed, unjust, and I ask that the community continue to pray for the Anthony family. I do not speak for them, but I know that the Next Generation Action Network will be here as support. My heart hurts right now because an ignorance of the law was done here today. Clear. We posted the jury instructions. And right now, what we are seeing is a travesty. It lets us that black lives do not matter in the criminal justice system. It lets us know that we are not going to be afforded the same laws as anybody else. And I give a damn about nobody that feels like I'm playing the race card here. For 400 years, our people have been at the liberty and have had to suffer at the liberty of these laws. I'm speaking facts because that blood of slavery is in my blood, not your blood. And it's not for you to look at me and say, I'm playing the race card. I'm just a black man living in America. The fact supports that. You say I'm upset? Hell yeah, I'm upset. I respected this process, but we're going to fight like hell to make sure that Collin County know that Karmelo Anthony is not going to go away. I want to thank all of the people who traveled across this country, to all of the media's community supporters and people who have taken Karmelo Anthony as their own baby. I salute you, I thank you, and we got work to do. Thank you and God bless.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
So you heard that.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Texas is a racist state. It's a racist state, man. Haha. Somebody jumped up in the comments. Guilty. Freddie, from your post, I'm assuming that you agree with the verdict. 35? Yep, 35. Well, they say that he's eligible for parole within 17 years. To be honest with you, I don't think he's going to do the full time. Let me tell you why he's not going to do the full time. Because I think that there's going to be a bunch of rich black people that are going to get involved in this now. I think that they're going to get involved in this. And I think that they're going to say that they do not want him to stay in jail. And I think he's going to find a way to beat this. He's going to find a way. I don't think he's going to do the full time. You know, it's almost like the Diddy situation. Remember Diddy? It's almost like the Diddy situation where everybody thought Diddy was going to do like 20 years, and then now it seems like he's only doing 4 years. And we all know this too. And you know, not to jump off the subject, but Diddy, he's only in jail because of the video that came out with him and Cassie. He's not really in jail because of the trafficking. Nobody cared about that. Tiger says, now you're dreaming. Daphne says, money will not help him. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think he's going to do the full time. He's not going to do the full time. They already said that he's not going to do the full time. You know why they already said that? They said that because they said that he's only going to do probably 17 years with the eligibility of parole, right? So let's look at that, which is still a long time. But if you get out of jail by the time he's 30 years old, he's still a young man. I mean, that's not that young, but, you know, he's still young enough to do something. Exactly. David says 35, he's lucky. Technically, yes. Technically, yes. Also, with only 17, listen, I think straight up, I'm gonna tell you right now. Look at let me give you a perfect example. Y'all probably don't even know this. Look at the rapper Max B, who's in front of Madison Square Garden now, doing rap songs with French Montana. He didn't do the full 20-something years. They gave him 17 and let him out. That's what's probably going to happen here. What's going to happen here is that he's going to do a little bit of time and they're going to let him out. I do not think that he's going to do 30 years in jail. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think so. I think that they're just going to do, yeah, exactly. He has to do half. I agree with you. I agree with you. Shout out Ses Clan or Ses Clan if I said your name right, but you said he's not Diddy and he wouldn't agree. Yeah, I agree with you. Junior Broncos. Yeah, he has to do half. I agree with you on that. Food is passion. You say yes, he is. Texas law. Mello says he's someone's girlfriend tonight. I don't know if he turns himself in right away. I think he has a surrender date. Yeah, but you see, Junior Broncos, this is the point, is that I think that this is a high-profile case. This case is high-profile, so he's probably gonna, like, they know that the media is paying close attention to this case. And not only that, not only is the media paying close attention, but who knows what's going to be happening in that city of Texas. Like, who knows what's going to happen? There could be little riots that might start happening. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the county that he's in, which a lot of people say is a racist, is a racist city in Texas. I think the reason why he was using a public defender was because they said supposedly, allegedly, that they spent all the money. All the money that they got from the GoFundMe, they spent. The parents were taking trips. Can you believe that? Stupid. Listen, man. Like I said to you guys earlier, now that we got a few more people, let's get some more likes up in here, too. If you guys can double tap the screen, that's what helps get more people up in here, man. We got nearly 100 people up in here. We should get some more likes to get it to like almost 1,000. Or let's get it to 1,000. Can you all double tap the screen? It doesn't cost y'all nothing. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get some likes in here. Let's get it up to like 1,000 so we can get more people up in here. Because this is a real subject. And I'm glad that some of y'all are vocal about this because I didn't even really want to talk about this subject. Yeah, let's get some more likes in here to get it to 1,000. User something says, what if he did this to a black kid? Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Thank you for the likes coming in. I appreciate y'all. Helps the algorithm. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I think that if this was another black kid that this has happened to, I don't think it would have been that big of a deal. I don't think it would have been that big of a deal. And yes, like some of y'all said, he set himself up for failure. I completely agree. That lets me know that us, especially as men, and let me say this point too, especially as men of color, we have to make sure that we are making smart decisions. Because like this man had just went up here and said, he said that he feels that he did not get a fair trial. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate y'all. He said that he felt that this man did not get a fair trial. I said to myself, yo, the minute that they put an all-white jury, I already knew he wasn't going to get a fair trial. And the interesting thing is that some of these people went up and said, oh, well, I checked the evidence. I looked at the evidence and I saw that he is not going to get a fair trial. I said I said, yo, you had to check the evidence to see that he wasn't going to get a fair trial? I knew the moment that all the jury was white that he wasn't going to get a fair trial. And I know some of y'all said in the comments, oh, well, there was an Asian. Oh, there was an Asian? Did y'all not forget that there was an Asian who just killed a black kid in South Carolina and got off? Oh, I shouldn't say that. Take that back. Can't say that. Can't say those some certain words. But you guys know what I'm saying, man. We're having a real stream here. We're having a real talk. Thank you for liking and following the highly evolved man, because that's what we talk about here. We're going to talk about real subjects here. We talk about women, relationships, and all this stuff going on in American culture. And the dating is screwed up here too. Yo, I just got a text from a girl right now. I know this is off subject, but let me just say real quick. I just got a text from a girl right now saying, she was saying, I'm not sure if I'm ready for a relationship. I never asked for a relationship. And second of all, you hit me up. Yo, you hit me up to go on a date, and now you're saying you don't know if you want a relationship. Yo, the whole country is screwed up in the mind over here, man. Literally no one cares. Someone said just to pray. Look, I don't know if bringing religion into this is what's going to help. Jose says, but always using the racial profiling. Hey, let's go. You heard the black people outside the courthouse say that. You heard them say that. Hold on, I'm going to put this back up. You heard them say that. 21 witnesses. All right, here, let me read some of the comments. I'm going to come right back with you guys in just a second. Let me read some of the comments. 21 witnesses, including black witnesses, stated it was not self-defense. That's what condemned it. Yeah, I agree. It kind of was self-defense, though. It kind of was and it wasn't. You know? It kind of was self-defense, but then it wasn't self-defense because at least I did read the part where he said to the guy, he said, hey, if you put your hands on, he said something like, hey, you got to move. You can't be here, right? I did at least read that part. He said, you got to move. You can't be here. And then the guy said to him, he said, well, you got to move me. He said, if you move me, then you're going to regret it or something like that. So he warned the guy. That's what he said. He warned the guy not to touch him. And the guy touched him anyways. Okay, so hold on. That's where they're trying to say that it's self-defense. They're trying to say that it's self-defense because they're saying that they told the guy not to touch him. Or, you know, sorry, I don't know all their names. Like I said, I'm not really trying to get too hardcore into the trial. I'm just like trying to I'm just trying to look at the racism in this country. Hold on. That's what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at the racism in this country. I'm not really looking at everything that happened in the trial. But what I will say, though, is that he told him not to touch him. Somebody said, bro brought a knife to attract me. I completely agree. This is why I go back to say, people have to learn how to fight. And I want to repeat this for those of you that are just joining in. Hold on. Sorry, let me make sure I fix something real quick for y'all. I want to make sure that I say this for those of you that are just joining in. People have to learn how to fight again. Or these kids have to learn how to fight. They don't know how to fight, and they don't respect fighting. Okay? They don't know how to fight, and they don't respect fighting. And the reason it being for is because I think our society teaches everybody to carry weapons. Yeah, man. Our society teaches everybody, let me just fix this for you guys, to carry weapons. It doesn't teach people anymore to like know how to fight or know how to defend yourself. So this is the main reason why the self-defense thing did not work. Al says he murdered, or I don't know if I can say all the words that you guys say. You want to talk about people who do animals. That'll be another talk, but just going over some of the comments. Someone says that now you put the dangerous animals in the zoo. Who is? I just wanted to catch up to the comments. Okay. That's what I'm saying. JT Chicago says an all-white juror speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? I kind of agree with that. Someone said it's going to be peaceful protests. It looks like it so far, even though there were a few fights outside of the courthouse. But that's the one part that I want to make clear, is that this man had an all-white jury. They knew that they were going to throw this guy in the dungeon, man. Lucky says you think that he deserves time, but not 35 years. Well, I think that's why they gave him 17 with parole. So basically, we're going to see what happens, that he gets 17 and he's probably going to get out after that. He's going to probably do the 17, maybe 20, if that. I don't even think he might even do 17. To tell you the truth, because this is such a high profile case, and I know that he has money and he has people and power that are going to probably do something about it. I bet you he's probably only going to do like 10 years. That's what somebody said. It was not an all-white jury. Lori, please tell us who was on the jury. And if they were Asian, that doesn't count, because Asian people are pretty much white people in this country. That's why there was an Asian man who killed a black kid and got off with it. You know what I'm saying? So please don't tell us that, oh, it wasn't an all-white jury. There was an Asian on the jury. Man, I got to say, lately, and I've dated Asian women, and I love Asian culture. You know what I'm saying? I got people in Tokyo right now. All right? But let me tell you this, though, man. In America, it's a lot different, yo. You go to China, you go to Japan, that's cool and all. You go to Korea, that's cool. In Texas, the Asians are white people too. Lori, in Texas, Asians, and in South Carolina too, apparently. In South Carolina, Asian people kill black people too. And get away with it. Asian people are white people. Thank you, Cindy. Cindy said definitely Asians are white. Yo, a lot of Asian people out here, they hate black people. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. They hate black people. But you know what's so interesting? And I observe this. And we're going to call it like it is, man, because that's the whole purpose of this channel. We're going to call it like it is. Yo, they all got the hair products and the nail salons. They do the nail shops, the hair products, the liquor stores. They sell all the liquor. They know how to cater to all the black people, though, right? They sell the liquor stores, the weaves, the hair products, the nail shops. They get all the black people as their customers. But they hate black people too. Not all Asians, because like I said, I got Asian friends. I got my people in Tokyo. But yes, JT Chicago said Mississippi too. Yo, we gonna talk Mississippi. Let's talk Alabama. Let's talk Louisiana. Yo, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I talked to some people the other day on the stream. Some black people from Alabama, some people from Louisiana, black people too, right? And I said to myself, how can you be black and still be in Alabama or Mississippi? I just don't get it, man. Keisha says, do you ever wonder why they hate us? Yeah, because we're the most powerful. That's why. We're the most powerful. You know, 35 years. Yeah, 35 years. Yeah, he's lucky. Ha ha ha. Miha says, that's a funny name, Miha. Miha says, thank you, China, for the nail and hair supplies and salons. Yep. He would get 10 years in New York. I think so, too. I think it was also had to do with the city that he was in. The city that he is in was basically a racist city. And like I said, I mean, I'm not trying to pick a side here and say who was right or who was wrong. I think they were both wrong. I think they both should have just took it outside and fought like young men, and one of them gets their ass kicked and one of them wins, and that's it. And dust the dirt off your shoulder, in the words of Jay-Z, and keep it moving. You know, but they couldn't do that. One dude wanted to put his hands on him, and the other dude wanted to kill him. So, you know, that, or I shouldn't say that word, but you know what I mean? Hey, thank you. Thank you for the likes coming in. True. Yeah, he shouldn't have brought out what he brought out. Did one have a knife? Yeah. The man that we see right here in the image right here had the knife. And I know some of y'all had said in the comment section, y'all said, well, why did he bring that to attract me? I completely agree. There's no reason for you to really carry that. But according to the law in Texas, I did check up on that where they said that the knife that he had was legal for him to have in the state of Texas. He was bullied. You have a child. Cindy says he was bullied, that you have a child that was always bullied, but they can always take so much. You're right about that. Yep. I agree with you, Cindy. And Bouncy, you said, see, that's what I think. They can't just duke it out like they did before. Yeah, man, exactly. I think back in the days, Rocket, you said, haven't heard much about any of this. Well, it actually just happened today, and I think they just did the sentencing right now where he got 35 years, but eligibility for parole in 17. It's legal, but not on school grounds. Yeah, I agree with you on that. County Wild says the EBT community up in arms again. I love it. I love it. Bring out the racism, man. Let's go. Let's go. We can handle it, man. Let's tell it as it is, man. Let's tell it as it is. America is racist. Yo, what is this trial going to do? It's almost like I went back about the NBA game yesterday, about the finals. Yo, the Knicks losing the game last night definitely looked like a fixed game. It looked like a way to make more money, man. And that's what I'm trying to say. In other words, this case, you're going to tell me that this is not a possibility to create more racism and division in the country, in the United States of America, the United States? Nah, man, it's the divided states. Should have bet on the Spurs. Yeah, hey, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. It was a fixed game, though. That's all that matters, man. The media and everybody is controlling the social conscious and the views of people. They're controlling the dating world. They're controlling the capitalism. They're making everybody want to become rich. It's just like, and that's cool. You should strive for that. But it's like, yo, man, it's getting ridiculous how it is. It's like, it's getting ridiculous. Thank you, Lori, for the follow. I appreciate you. Harry B says, I remember back in high school. I don't even know how many been able to go live. I have less than 100 followers, but I got like over like thousands of likes. So maybe that's why, but I thank you guys for the follow, man. I know we talk about a little bit of touchy subjects on here, but we gotta do it. The highly evolved man. Are you one of them? Are you one of them? Harry B says, but also we used to scrub it up with our hands. Yeah, squabble up, like Kendrick Lamar says. Bobby Kisselberg says, they hate us. Quit whining and come party with us in the South. Racism exists more than in the North. Okay, what part of the South are you in, Bobby? And who are you saying hates you? Racism will always be here today and tomorrow, JT Chicago says. It appears to be that way, man, especially all over the world. Eli says he brought a knife intending to, can't say that word. You can't bring a weapon on school campus. Simple. I agree with you, but where people will disagree is that they say that he was bullied. Brian says everything don't have to be about race. I want to know how he got to where he did. Are you talking about the trial? Brian? Is it Brian or Branwiz? Cindy says, I am not one of them. What do you mean you are not one of them? They not like us. They not like us. Harry B says, honestly, they're probably going to come back and go after a manslaughter charge if I was the defense. Probably, but we'll see. Yeah, racism has always been here, though. I definitely agree with you. Cindy says, definitely all over. Gabe says, money couldn't use his fist. Yeah, true that. I agree with you on that, Gabe. That's what we were talking about earlier. Got to learn how to fight, man. Captain Fever says, I thought that 15 to 20 with good behavior would have been enough. Cindy, he probably will do that. Cindy says he probably brought it because he was bullied every day. That's exactly what a lot of people have been saying. Oh, you say you're not racist. Well, good looking out, Cindy. I appreciate you. I don't consider myself racist either, but I do feel like I understand what is going on, though. You're from South Arkansas. Shout out South Arkansas, Bobby. Shout out South Arkansas. How is it out there? What's it like out there? Is it cool? Do people get along? Do other races get along? What's your name? Want to make sure I say some of you guys. Miss Maria says there's nothing to do with racism unless it's racism on part of the murderer. Thank you for the likes coming in. JT Chicago, we are all humans categorized by man. I agree with that. Mike Jack says Austin. Yeah. Well, that's what some people said. Some people say that. Well, he was good. He had to do some time, man. He had to do some time because it's like, why did you carry a knife onto the school? People are just scared to catch a fade nowadays and resort to weapons. User 75. I couldn't agree with you more. All youth making bad judgments. I hope he gets out in time. Well, if he only does 30, if he gets out by the time he's 30, he's still somewhat a young man to do some things. He's only 19 right now, so he's still young. There's a difference between self-defense and force. Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. Like you said, some of y'all said, man, some of these people are just too afraid to catch a fade, yo. Like, get out there and fight. Learn how to throw your hands. Like, I'm happy that when I was growing up, we actually used to go out there on the boxing, in the boxing ring, and we used to put on the gloves, and we used to, like, learn how to fight and stuff. We used to take pride in that, and it definitely helped later on. Like, when I was a kid, I just thought, like, oh, we were boxing for the fun of it. You know what I mean? And just learning how to box. But as I got older, and then, of course, I went through some things, got in some fights. I was like, oh, this is like when we were boxing. This is like when we used to box. And it was like good to already just kind of know that. So, I'm happy to say that I pretty much won every single fight I've been in. You know, except for like the times where I've been jumped a few times, but you know what I'm saying? I've been jumped so many times. I got used to it to where I started not learning how to knock out like 3 or 4 people at once. You know, that's why it's like, oh, when it comes to just fighting one person, it's like, oh, you get jumped so much. It's like, damn, you're only going to fight one person? Oh, this will be easy. I'm used to fighting like 4 or 5 people at the same time. So, but yeah, you're right. Like, people don't really fight like the way they used to. And I think it's also, and I'll say this too real quick, is that I think it also has to do a lot with hip hop culture and rap culture and also American culture. That we promote guns a lot. Thank you for the share. Appreciate you. So let me see where we at here. Cabin Fever says he's 18. I think he's 19 since I looked last. I think they said he was 19. Bobby says, yes, sir. We hit the mud parks. Yep. With our SXSs and ATVs and don't give a crap about skin. We are all key. Yeah. Or all kin. Yep. Next to kin. I hear that. Yes, JT Chicago says choices come with consequences. Couldn't agree more. And that's what I've heard a lot of people say. A lot of people have said that he made a split-second decision that's going to affect the next few years, man. Make sure you guys share this, though, too, man. And like the lives. You know, thank you that we hit it over 1,000. Appreciate that. Yeah, I agree with you, Kid Dynamite. That's a dope name. I used to know a rapper by that name, Kid Dynamite. Yeah. Trump going to free him. Yo, that's going to be the funny part, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trump's falling asleep last night at the game. Did y'all see that? Trump going to the New York Knicks game, and he fell asleep. The only time he woke up was when they blew a whistle. Yo, crazy, man. Like, what's going on here, man? Like, these dudes literally falling asleep at the game. It's like, oh, man, y'all don't really need to be there, man. I understand you're the president. I understand all you people are rich. But y'all don't really need to be there, man. Why don't you give those tickets to some people that are real fans and who really want to be there? Porter says, why did he have a weapon on the school grounds? Well, a lot of people in the comment section are saying it's because he was bullied. That's what they believe. Yeah. Y'all keep saying 35. I don't think he's going to do 35, man, cuz like somebody had said, let me make sure I look this up correctly. Let me fact check this. Yes, he was found guilty with 35. But hold on, let me just make sure I look this up. Eligibility for parole. So y'all forget about this. He will be, so I just Googled this right now, and just so you guys can see over here on YouTube. He will be eligible for parole after half the time is served. So yeah, so he got sentenced to 35, and what's that divided by 2? So yeah, exactly. Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia was actually right. So he's really looking at 17 years. They just say the 35 because they want to be politically correct. And because they want people to probably shut up and people to go, oh, okay, yeah, 35. But really, he's probably only going to do 17. That boy Bull, you say he will not get his first parole. Like they said, Buddy's done for. Some people said, yo, they delivered this trial in less than a few hours. They were like, guilty. Yo, let me say this too, man. In this country, I want to go ahead and say, I can't really speak for other races, but I will definitely speak for black people or people of color. You are definitely guilty until proven innocent. I have been in this situation before, unfortunately, to where I had to prove my innocence. And that will be a whole nother topic that I will speak about later. That might be a Patreon or, some kind of paid membership, but I'm going to tell you guys how to fight charges. I had to learn how to fight one of the charges myself. And I fought it myself, and I beat myself out of it. Thankfully it wasn't a crazy charge like this, but it was pretty serious though too. Somebody said there's zero chance. Shard Sniffer said, Shard Sniffer? Wow, that's an interesting name. Can I take you seriously when your name is Shard Sniffer? You said there's zero chance that he stays out of trouble for 17 years. Someone said he won't get parole. Don't drop the soap. I was waiting for that comment to come through. Thanks, Hank. You said, let's see if he is still good with that. Yeah, we gonna see. You said that Brian Wells says you feel that he was done a disservice by his parents and his legal team. He should have took the plea. What was the plea that he was offered? If you could please put that in the comment section, what the plea was, that'll be great to see. Shout you out. Thanks for the wave. P.O. says, y'all, for this, is he scared? I don't know if he's scared. I think he's going to be protected in prison. I think he's going to be protected. He's not going in there for being a PDF. If he was a PDF or some weird stuff like that, then he would definitely have to be scared. He's going in there for murder. I shouldn't say that. Sorry. Not sorry, but yeah, that's what it is. That's what it was. But I just want to be careful with the words that I say. But he's going in there for that. And not only that, the only thing he has to be scared of is for the white supremacists who are in there who might try to get him. They may try to get him, but I think he's going to be protected by black people up in there. They're going to protect him. You go to jail for something like that, and I'm not saying that you should want to go to jail for anything. Don't ever go to jail, especially if you're black. Stay out of jail. I got to tell you, there's a bunch of black people in jail, man. Not much has changed since slavery, to go back to that. Not much has changed. There's a bunch of black people in jail. Don't ever go to jail. But I think in his sake, I think that he's going to be protected. Who even knows, man? He might be in protective custody because this was kind of a high-profile case. So they might put him in protective custody. Barney Bay, you said his Boosie about to be busted. Well, we'll see yet. Aaron says, did the looting start yet? Who knows? There was a couple of fights outside. Caden says he's about to be someone's girlfriend. Yeah. Damn. Man, y'all got some interesting comments. He said the fudge packing factory. Wow. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can all look at this and learn from this experience of why it's better to just know how to fight. Yeah, I agree with you, Bobby. I saw your comment. Jose says he about to be the logo. Ooh. Jose said it about to be the logo, huh? He gonna be in GP. He not a snitch. They gonna protect him down there. Yeah, he's gonna be protected. All right, some of these comments I can't read. Because I don't want to get the video flagged. Yeah, the Asian guy, the Asian kid, the guy that shot the kid, right? Crazy, man. Crazy. But you know what, though? When I heard where that trial was going to be taking place, I heard that trial was in South Carolina. I said, oh, I'd be surprised if he got convicted at least of manslaughter. I mean, let's just speak on that real quick. That the Asian man who ran that store chased the guy down. He chased him down. Like, that's in the report, that he chased the guy down and shot him. How is that self-defense? Like, this case right here could be argued more of a self-defense case than that case in South Carolina. But this man goes and runs after him. They said for over 100 yards. So that's like almost a football field or something, right? He runs almost like a football field to chase this guy down and kill him. And he's not even a guy. He's a kid. He's like a 16-year-old kid, something like that. 2 weapons were involved in South Carolina, is what user 308 says. But they said that the kid didn't, they kind of went back and forth with that. They said he had a gun and then he didn't have a gun. Or they said that he brandished the gun, but he didn't pull the gun out. And then the point is, though, is that even if he did show the gun, he still ran away. The kid got, how can I say, clapped in the back. He got clapped in the back, man. So it's like he was running. He was running away. Now, I'll say this. No, maybe I shouldn't. I'll keep those thoughts to myself. But I'll just say this, man. When I found out that trial was in South Carolina, I mean, come on, yo. Just like some of y'all said about Mississippi, and we can't forget Louisiana. South Carolina has got to be one of the most racist states in America. BB says I'm lying. What part? What part is lying? Tell me what part, man. The dude ran after him. And what part are you talking about? I'm lying. I don't know. All I know is this. We're not talking about that case, Disney. We're talking about the other trial. There was another trial of an Asian man who shot a kid in South Carolina, and he got off. He beat the trial. That's what we're talking about. I'm glad you said that, Big New, because that's exactly what I was saying. What they did to this man, give him an all-white juror, was the same thing that they did back in the 1950s. Bald Eagle says that he deserved it. Caddy says no accountability, no remorse. Fatigue is now exhaustion. Interesting point, but what are you talking about? Please clarify. Yeah, we're talking about 2 different trials. It's very interesting how we have both of these trials come to a decision just within weeks of each other. There were Latinos on the jury as well, and the defense attorney turned down 3 black jurors. So they say. But then again, we also find out that he didn't have the right lawyer working with him. Latinos and Asian people are racist of black people too. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100, yo. Especially in Texas. Especially in Texas, man. Like, Andre said, how about don't? Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree with you. Yeah, maybe don't spend all the lawyer money on a house. I completely agree with you, Alex. That was stupid if they especially did that. If they especially spent money on a house instead of a lawyer, you're absolutely right that that's got to be the dumbest thing, the dumbest decision that anybody could have made. What they should have done was they should have beat that case, made sure that they hired the right lawyer, which they probably couldn't afford anyways. Like, the real lawyers are probably wanting way more than that. But they probably should have waited till after, if they won that case, and then went and bought a house. But they did the exact opposite. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, somebody said they bought cars and clothes. No lawyer was going to get this off. Yeah, you're right. I don't think that any lawyer was going to get this off. But, yeah, I think it's over $500K too, Alex. I think they raised, like, over, like, almost $700,000 now. And they're probably going to raise more money now, too. I think that, yeah, man, there was a lot of dumb decisions that were being made through this whole thing. But like I said, I don't think he's going to do the full time. In my personal opinion, I don't know if he's going to get an appeal. I'm sure that they're going to try to appeal this, but I don't think he's going to get an appeal. But I also don't think that he's going to do the full time. Ethan says free R. Kelly. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, man. And that's funny too. R. Kelly looks like he's going to probably do more time than this guy's going to do. R. Kelly's going to do more time. Or they're going to make sure that R. Kelly don't get out until he's a very old man. No judge will give this case an appeal. I agree with you on that. I don't think he's going to get an appeal, but I also don't think that he's going to do 35. I don't think he's going to do 35. I don't know if I could say some of your comments, but I was reading some of them, and they are interesting. John says in Texas he's doing full-time, no parole. Well, they said that he is eligible when he completes half of his sentence. He might not if he's on good behavior. He probably will be. Oh, you guys are bringing up the Kyle story. Yeah. Did you see what Kyle posted on Twitter today? I don't even know how he comes up in my feed, but I saw Kyle in my feed today, and he said, justice has been served. That dude's lucky. That dude showed up to a BLM movement with a gun, with an AR-15, killed 2 people, and got off. He shouldn't even have been there. Crossed state lines with a gun and killed 2 people, right? I don't even know if I should even say the word, but you know why he got off? Was because the 2 people that he did that to were also white. Now, if those 2 people were black, he would have been done. He would have been done. And let's not forget, too, if you go back and you watch the video, yeah, go back and watch that video of what happened. He actually shot at a black guy. He's actually lucky that he missed. They're both lucky. The black guy's lucky that he missed, and he's lucky that he missed. Because if he would have shot that black dude that he shot, there was a black dude who kicked him when he was on the ground. When he fell on the ground, a black dude, and they wanted to bring that black guy to trial. He declined to go to trial. He declined to be known. He didn't want to be known. He didn't want to be on TV. He didn't want to speak up. Who knows? Maybe he got money. He might have got paid off by the lawyers or something. Who knows? Because he was just like, he just disappeared like he didn't even exist anymore. And it's like, yo, man, this guy straight up shot at a black dude and tried to kill him. Or tried to unalive. Is that the word I'm supposed to say for YouTube or for them? Sorry. Don't want to be too explicit. We're talking about a very controversial subject here. But yeah, the black dude just disappeared. Like, didn't want to go to court, didn't want to testify, didn't want to do nothing. I'm thinking they paid him off. Because if it's like somebody shot at you, it's like, heck yeah, man, you're going to testify up against them. Or unless you're just not a snitch, I get it. But it's just like, man, what? This dude tried to kill you. And he just disappeared. Trying to read some of your comments. Are you talking to me? You said something about say it. Say what? Because he would have gotten in trouble too for trying to hurt. Keister says guilty and it sounds amazing. Yeah, I think that he had to become guilty or had to be proven guilty. And I think, to go back to the Karmelo story, I think that they wanted to make a message and prove a point about this. Now, the fact that they had to have an all-white jury, my bad. There was an Asian and we haven't even verified if it was a Latino or an Indian. But we had an Asian, a Latino, and an possible Indian. The rest were all white. Okay, the rest were all white and an Asian. People, what is the difference? That's right. You don't see nothing wrong with the little bump and grind. Oh, somebody's trying to say, cry, my boy. Hey, I'm not tripping on this. I'm not tripping. Listen, when they said that the jury, for the most part, when they announced it, was going to be all white, I already knew he was done. Not to mention, like some of y'all have pointed out in the comments, that the family went and spent money on houses, cars, and clothes. So we already knew he was done. Okay? We already saw it coming. This is a no-brainer. Oh, he had an all-white jury? I wonder if he's going to be found innocent. Nah, man. Nah. It's so interesting how some people want to jump in here. Case. Are you kidding me? Once they selected the jury, we knew he was done. We don't know if his lawyers picked the jury. If they did a horrible job. But I think that's the way it's supposed to go, right? They're supposed to pick. Somebody said you feel that he should have did more time. I agree with you, the truth. That's what we were talking about earlier. They should have learned how to fight. Like I said, I think they both were wrong in this. Somebody brought up the OJ. That's what some people said on Twitter. I was reading those in the comments where some people said, this is like the OJ trial. The only difference is that this time justice was served for white people. Yeah, man. Here. I'm going to let some of you guys on. Let's keep it respectful. Let's see what some people have to say. I'll probably have some people on for a few more minutes. And then, just to get some comments. And then, try to get everybody up in here that we can. He's right where he's supposed to be. Redneck. Well, your name is Redneck. So we already know how you feel about the trial. We already know where you wanted to go. Profile name Redneck. Not trying to be discreet about anything. Jordan says it was a W. I think you mean trial. Yeah. Like I said, man, they're going to make an example out of him to show, hey, this is what's going to happen. If you do this, this is what's going to happen. Texas gal. Oh, y'all coming in from Texas, huh? I think that people need to learn how to fight again. I think that people need to go back to learning how to fight. I don't think that he should have brought a knife with him on campus. How come we don't all have platforms in regards to all the black on black violence? Yeah, good point. That's what somebody had brought up earlier too. They said, what if this was another black kid that he did? I don't think it would have did nationwide news. I think the fact that it was a white kid and a black kid that were involved, I think that is the reason why it has generated the news that it has generated. Yeah, like you said, fist fight, learn how to fight. Born and raised in New York City. He'll probably do about, I think he's going to do about 17 to 20 years. My guess, if I had to bet on this, I don't know. Like there might even be bets where you can bet on this. My bet would be that he's probably going to get out in about 20. I think he'll get out in 20. Yeah, I think he's going. I think he's going to do that. Yep, I agree with you too. Standard American says too many people believe everything the media tells them. I agree. Too many people believe what the media tells them. And there's so many lies. I think we all know, man, there's so many lies out there. So much stuff that's being lied about. We don't even know all the stuff that's going on. Thank you for the follow, Standard American. I appreciate you. We don't even know all of the stuff that went on behind this trial. Like, supposedly the judge was like friends with one of the prosecutors, allegedly. We don't know if that's really true or not. Cab Pro says it's sad how so many people grab a weapon. I agree with you, man. That's what we were saying right here, man. People got to learn how to fight. People got to learn how to fight. Like, what's wrong with these people, man? Not knowing how to fight. He could have just fought, maybe got his ass kicked, who knows? But at least he would be able to walk away a free man. Whereas now he is in a situation where there are two unfortunates. Standard American says, you are white, you work with a lot of black Americans who have the same job as you do where there is racism. I'm sure it is. What part of the country are you in, Standard American? The man killed a man. Justice. The man did kill a man, but the other man also did put his hands on that other man. You see, that's the point that I want to make. I want to make myself, is that it's very interesting when you have a man. Yes, he did do that. Exactly. How you going to tell him how to defend himself? Exactly, man. If you put your hands on another man, and let me speak to the men in the chat. I know we have a few women up in here, but this is directed more so towards the men. That's why this channel is called The Highly Evolved Man. If you put your hands on another man, you must be aware that there could be some consequences. You don't know what that person is carrying on them. I remember I was in basketball camp and Magic came through and he said something once where he said Mike Tyson might be a better fighter in the ring, but if I go up against Mike Tyson in the street, that's a different story. I could pull out a brick. I could pull something out. You don't know. So that's what I'm trying to say, man. This was not a UFC fight. Y'all got to realize that in street fights, there's some people out there that are not going to play by the rules. So you have to be aware that if you put your hands on another man, and that's where the defense tried to basically come with the point of self-defense, because they're trying to argue the fact that, well, he put his hands on him and so he self-defended himself. Now, I know a lot of us will probably look at that and say, yeah, okay, right. Why did he have to pull out the knife then? He could have just pushed him right off of him and said, hey, like Denzel Washington in that one movie, don't you put your hands on me. Get your damn hands off of me. He could have did that. Rod says the case is closed. You're talking about things that never happened and were proved in court to be rumors. We'll see if the case is really closed. I don't know if the case is closed. It is closed as far as what's going on right now. It is closed. But I think that it's going to be reopened, and I think that he will not do the full time. But you're right. As far as we are speaking as of right now, the case is closed. And I agree. What happened to fist fighting? That is what we have been saying on this whole call. Aaron says, yeah, it was a school event on school grounds, not a street fight. I agree with you on that. But the thing is, though, is that a fight is a fight. They were at a school track meet, not downtown Chicago. Hey, that's a great point, man. And the other point that I want to make is that, yo, man, why do you bring a knife? Why you got to bring a knife for him? You said they will appeal it, but even if he gets off, he's still going to end up doing, yeah. They're going to appeal it for sure. But I think I agree with what some other people said, that he's probably not going to get the appeal. I think he's going to do the time. And I think that that's what's going to happen. They knew that they wanted to give him time. But like I said, what happened here was not much different from what they were doing in the 50s. And to go back to that tweet that I read earlier where he said this brings us back to the Jim Crow era, the Jim Crow South era. I think that time has never stopped. And I want to say this, the people who are the slave owners or who were the slave owners, their grandchildren are still running the country. Their great grandchildren are still running the country. That is how they were already rich. A lot of these people today who are rich are put there in power because their grandparents and their great grandparents were already slave masters. So if you want to try to tell me that this is something that people have been talking about and protesting since the civil rights movement. I remember I was speaking to some people that were out there, that were there at a time during the civil rights movement. And they even said that the country, as far as black people, is way worse than it was then. Can we see that we got these degenerate rappers out here? And like I said, I don't want to go off on this whole topic or this rant, but let me just say real quick, man, how we have these degenerate rappers out here talking about nothing in their music. Meanwhile, we got cases like this happening right in front of us, but then we have a bunch of rappers that are going to come out tomorrow talking about how many guns they got and how they're drug dealers. Yeah. So you're going to say Chud, this guy, the racist white dude that was going around Nashville, Tennessee, calling black people the N-word. And then one dude ran up on him and punched him. And then someone said rap is fire. Which rappers? Even though I do like the new Drake album that just came out. Let me say this, man. Because someone brought up the racist white dude calling black people monkeys and saying that they're about to chimp out. They gonna chimp out. So a black dude went up and punched him in the face, and he turned around and capped him. They haven't even spoken on which, if the guy that he capped, if he survived or not. They haven't even spoken on that yet. But what I will say, though, is that he shouldn't have walked the streets, Sadoki says. I agree with you, man. I agree with you 100. Datchun says nothing positive. Yeah, man. Listen, but that's what this dude wanted to do. This dude wanted to go around acting tough. I'm so glad that we have a stupid comment in the section, and I wanted to speak on that. I'm glad that you brought that up about change our culture. Let me tell you why the culture hasn't changed. And every time I see this comment, I always got something for y'all. I'm going to speak on this comment real quick about when they see rappers talking about guns and violence, they say change the culture. But let me finish my point on this racist white dude calling people monkeys. Yo, man, if you're going to walk around the streets calling people monkeys, some dude's going to test you. Now, there's a point where if it were me, I might just be like, whatever, man. F this dude. I'm out of here. I ain't got time for this because I got more important things to do. And I don't have time to be sitting in a courtroom trying to fight for my freedom. I've already gone through that a few times by being a black man in this racist country. Hence is the reason why I have started this channel, The Highly Evolved Man. Make sure you guys are following and like the video too, by the way. But I got to say, man, if you are walking around in the street calling black people monkeys and chimps and all kinds of stuff like that, there is a possibility that someone is going to test you. But as I have said earlier, someone says I sound too civilized for this cultural conversation. I don't know if that was a backhanded compliment, but I am civilized. Let me say this though, man. As I said earlier, if somebody puts your hands on you or you put your hands on them, you have to be aware of the consequences. So this dude turns around and he caps him. Hey, man, the way I look at that, homeboy punched him, he shot him. So you got to be ready for that. You don't know what people are carrying, especially in the South, man. Come on, man. I know all y'all out there in the South are strapped. Y'all go to the grocery store with your straps on you. You guys in the South, y'all can't even go to the grocery store without carrying a pistol. So I'm already assuming that if I'm in the South, I'm already assuming that everybody's got a pistol on them or some. So that's what I'm saying, man. But as far as somebody said earlier, and I wanted to make sure I iterate on this comment, the comment where somebody said, "We'll change the culture then." Well, let me tell you why the culture won't change. Because the powers that be promote the culture to be that way. Let me make sure I repeat that so you guys hear me clearly. I didn't turn my camera off, so I don't know why we're saying that. Why TikTok is saying that. I didn't turn the camera off. The powers that be promote the culture to be this way. Okay? They promote the culture to be this way. Like if they say, oh, okay, we're going to give a bunch of money to a rapper like Sexy Red, who talks about nothing but degeneracy and single motherism and cheating on your man and no family. And they have a bunch of other degenerate rappers that come around like NBA Youngboy and all these rappers that talk about being violent. That's what they're going to talk about. You know why that's what they're going to talk about? Because the powers that be are paying their rent to do so. You see, but it's up to us as people to not listen to that degeneracy. But that's the problem. And that's why I'm glad that I'm doing this talk right here, man. Because I think that we have reached a point now where we need to stop promoting this degeneracy in our culture. It's time, man. I mean, come on, man. We see what's happening right here. What's happening right here, man. I'm glad somebody's glad you're doing it, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Simon Phoenix. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, man. It's time because, like, listen, the reason why as well is because I've spent a lot of time online. I've spent a lot of time looking at the music. I've spent a lot of time just listening to what these podcasters are saying. And it's like, man, most of the time, y'all ain't talking about nothing. They ain't talking about nothing. Us in the South love everybody. Well, Bobby, they say y'all got the Southern hospitality out there. But yeah, to go back to my point, man, it's like a lot of these people out here ain't talking about nothing, yo. And so I feel like, yo, man, there's a time where we got to start speaking about certain things. And like even this trial, man, I didn't even really want to speak about it. But I felt like, you know what? This is something that needs to be spoken about. Infinite Cartoon World, you said guilty. Guilty as charged, yes. But this is the question, though. Do we live in a judicial system where you are innocent until proven guilty or guilty until proven innocent? That's the poll that I should have on this next stream. Is guilty until proven innocent or innocent until proven guilty? Daniel says, Karmelo is guilty, Chud racist, but has a slight chance for self-defense once video and audio releases. Are you talking about the racist white dude in Tennessee? Well, he got punched and he turned around and shot the guy. So, I mean, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense, man. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, man, these people got to go back to learning how to fight, man. Like, none of these people know how to fight anymore, man. They all got to go back to learning how to fight. But you know what, though, man? I see these people on Twitter these days that go around saying they don't even want to fight. They're like, I don't know. I don't like to fight. I carry a weapon. that's what we're promoting to the youth. Again, these things are getting promoted to the youth, and yeah, Daniel says that you think he's going to win that case. I think he is too. I mean, I think he's already getting funding, right? They put his bail at like over $1 million, right? So it's going to be really interesting to see if he's able to make bail. They did the same thing for that dude Kyle, though, right? They put his bail at like $1 million or something like that, and that dude raised that dude became a millionaire. You know what I mean? See what the country promotes? The country promotes this type of stuff where you could get rich. Yes, Sharon Rose says we are guilty, even proven innocent. We're still guilty because we are black, indigenous here. Yeah, you know what? I completely agree. And you're not the first person that said that, because I don't want to say too many names because I don't want to get the video flagged. But I will say that, yes, even during the civil rights movement, there were a lot of people that went up and protested. And this is back in the 60s for those of you that don't know the history, because I know Gen Z doesn't like to do history anymore. But for those of you that like to do history or that don't do the history, there's people from that movement of the civil rights, the generation of the civil rights movement, and said, how do you expect to get a free trial when we were brought to this land as slaves? Did you really think that you were going to get a free trial? This is the reason why people, especially people of color, should not put themselves in these situations. You see, that's the real trick here. The real trick is to make sure that you don't fall into these traps. As Krim says, that's completely BS. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty, regardless of race. Now, that's not really true. The reason why I know it's not true is because I'm speaking from experience. And I'll talk about that later. But like I said, this might be a situation where I'm going to put up a paywall. But there was a time where I had got accused of some things that were not true. And I had to prove my innocence. They even said this was the cold part about it too, was that they had incarcerated me. This is kind of one of the reasons why I started this channel, was because of this experience. This experience was what made me feel like, okay, yeah, that's it. It's time now. It's time. I was incarcerated and I was trying to bail out. They wouldn't even let me bail out at first because they didn't know if they were going to charge me or not. So you're saying that I had to sit behind bars and wait a few days until they finally said, you know what? Yeah, you didn't do it. Let him go. But still, I had to put things on hold. Didn't know what was going to happen. Got harassed. Got humiliated in front of people. Had to sit behind bars to prove my innocence. They literally had me incarcerated until I was proven innocent. And I will speak more on this in another video. But like I said, man, there was a time where I was guilty until proven innocent. And I didn't even have a lawyer. I tried to get a lawyer to help me, and all the lawyers were talking about like, well, just wait. Like, some of them were giving me some good information, but some of them were like, yo, man, just wait and see what happens. But if it does happen, this is how much we're going to charge you. And it was just like, yo, man, are you serious? This is what we're looking at? It's interesting to see how these lawyers use a person's downfall to their, to their exposure to become rich and wealthy. Q says, serious question. What's your dad's name? That's a great question. Well, I wouldn't say that on this stream anyways. But I will say this, though, that we are clearly a generation of fatherless homes. But I think that we've now reached the point where even white people don't have their fathers either in the home. It's not just black people. It's all over the country. I mean, it's a known fact that the marriage rate is at an all-time low and the divorce rate is at an all-time high. So I think there's a bunch of people that are growing up in fatherless homes, whether you happen to be black or white. Now, Asians and Latinos, I know y'all don't get down like that. Asians and Latinos, y'all can live in the same house till y'all are like 50 years old. Y'all still living in the same house. They don't even have to live in a house. They can live in an apartment. I don't know how y'all do that, man, but I've seen it. Y'all could do that in an apartment. Y'all could be y'all could have like 5 or 10 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. Black people really can't do that, man. Black people can't really do that. But yeah, Krim says fatherless homes is a black cultural thing. The statistics don't lie. And you know why that it's like that? Nobody gonna talk about the eyewitnessing right or wrong. Y'all can jump in the comments about that one. Are y'all gonna tell me that it's not by design? Before we go on and say comments about fatherless homes or is a black culture thing, which also goes back to the point of why rap music sounds the way it does. We're gonna talk about systemic racism didn't exist. Are y'all gonna forget about Black Wall Street? How many of y'all know about Black Wall Street? What happened to Black Wall Street? Where there was a bunch of black people out there becoming multimillionaires. What happened to Black Wall Street? They burned it down. What happened to all the black leaders that usually spoke about the realness, about what's going on in this country? What happened to all of them? What happened to all the black rappers out there that talked about the truth? What happened to all of them? Not Q. You should Google that. You should Google Black Wall Street. It was actually white people that burned it down. But go look up Black Wall Street. The fact that you ask that question or don't know the answer to that question shows that you haven't really done your research enough to be asking the questions that you ask. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I do this, because I've been studying this for a long time. Dari Buck says, I heard your people got 40 acres and a mule. Yeah, we never did. We never did. We were promised 40 acres and a mule, but we never got it. That's why Spike Lee, who you see courtside at all the NBA games right now in New York, the name of his company is 40 Acres and a Mule, because he's basically speaking on the fact that we never got the 40 acres and the mule that we were promised. But look at systemic racism. Look at the job market. Look at what black people were paid as to opposed to what white people were paid in this country. Look at what happened in this country in the 50s and the 60s. What happened to this man, and again, I want to say disclaimer for those of you out there. I'm not saying that what this man did was right. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that what happened to him was very similar to what they were already doing in the slavery days and after the slavery days. What they were doing when this country was openly racist. But you know what's interesting is that I think that we are now going back to that. We are going back to that now, where it is openly racist again. I see your comment. T.H.E.M Cowboy shot you out on YouTube. Thank you for your comment. You said guilty, deserved. He shouldn't have brought a knife to the campus. I agree with you on that. He shouldn't have done that. Like I said, man, I'm not really choosing a side on this. I'm not choosing a side. But what I am saying, though, is that I am aware that this country is racist, though. Let's not sit here and pretend that this country is not racist. Yeah, social media shows who you really are. That was the thing that came in and ruined everything with social media. You see, before social media, I remember people used to fight in the street. People weren't so quick to pull out guns. As a matter of fact, in my day, back in my day, not to sound like an unk or nothing, but back in the days, I remember you were considered a wimp if you carried a gun. If you carried a gun, you were considered a wimp. if you didn't know how to fight. Like, people be like, oh, you don't know how to fight? People would say that, man. Q, I can tell that you just jumped on. You don't know what we've been talking about, man. But it's okay. I don't care. That's not my point. Yep. Brandon says open racism is prevalent. You're seeing it more. Yeah, you want to see some real racism? All you got to do is go to Twitter. Just go to Twitter. Everybody says that people are going to be using the race card. I should play this clip that the reporter had said today. He said, you damn right we going to play the race card on this, man. You damn right. Q, you say you're pro guns. Just make sure the streets are legal. Yeah, you know what? That's the problem, is that everybody in America is pro gun. Everybody in America is pro violence. Everybody in America, we're the only country that has all of the mass, you know, I don't know if I can say the word because I don't want to get it flagged, but you know what I'm saying. We're the only country in the world that has all these mass, you know, attacks that don't really happen in other countries. I remember even when I was traveling around, people used to always ask me that. They used to be like, oh, you're an American? Why is your country so violent? Why do Americans like guns so much? Why do Americans like guns so much? There's a book called Ameriguns. Go check that book out. Y'all should go Google this. It's like Americans, but Ameriguns. Ameriguns. Go look that up. Yo, the moment that they put an all-white juror on this case, or one Asian, an Indian, but the moment that they put this juror together, we already knew that this man was done for. We already knew it, man. Let me play you guys this clip real quick, and I'm going to be right back with you guys. I want to play the clip. I mean, did you guys see the judge too? Whoa. Looking at this judge. Yeah, man. I mean, it's scary. It's scary. But like I said, the smarter decision is this. Especially as a black man. I'm not trying to make excuses or play the race card in this situation, even though I definitely do believe that there was a race card that was put in this. I definitely do believe that. But what I will say, though, is this. Is that as a black man, you see, this is what I've learned as I've gotten older. I've learned that it's smarter to know how to avoid the traps. Know how to avoid the traps that have been set here for you. Listen to this. Let me listen to this real quick, because this lady did make a good point. I want you guys to hear this if you guys can real quick. As a black community, you have the most opportunities here in America compared to anywhere. I don't know if I really agree with that. I think now there's more opportunities in Africa for us.
Mexicans kill Mexicans. We ain't trying to hear no cool shit.
Yo, I wanna tell you all this, man. Africa is no longer a third world country. I've been to Africa before. That's the funny thing. America keeps portraying Africa as like a third world country. Some parts of Africa are a third world country, but there's some parts of Africa that are very much civilized, that have fast Wi-Fi, that have good food, that have great things going on, like Alexandria, Egypt is one of them. We all know Dubai is starting to come up, even though that's more so the Middle East. But Dubai's starting to come up. You know what I'm saying? Name one country in Africa that has better opportunities. That's easy, man. Uganda, Nigeria, South Africa. Should I keep going? You probably never even been to Africa, so you can't even speak on it. The question is have you ever been to Africa? Yes or no? You know what I mean? If you've never been to Africa, then you don't even know what you're talking about. Probably all the information. Brandon says he has. Okay, dope. Yeah. But the person asking me to name one country, it probably hasn't. I could tell you right now that Jeddah in Saudi Arabia is way more cracking. Yeah, man. Uganda's way popping. What are you talking about, man? Yeah, Egypt, Alexandria, Egypt. Alexandria, Egypt is a great place, man. It's a great place. Look, man, all you need is a Wi-Fi connection these days, man. That's all you need. Don't really matter where you are in the world. All you need is a Wi-Fi connection. It's like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, you got to be in a certain country to make money. You got to be in a certain country to make money. Yo, man, this ain't the 80s no more. This ain't the 90s anymore. We're not in the early 2000s. We have internet. You can make money from anywhere in the world these days. As a matter of fact, a bunch of people are leaving the United States. Have you not noticed? Have you not noticed that a bunch of people are leaving the United States? Have you not noticed that a bunch of people that have learned how to make money online are all leaving the United States? Nobody wants to stay here anymore. I have left. You don't know where I'm at. You don't know where I'm at. Dude, let me tell you this for those of you that are out here. I know I talk a lot about relationships too and stuff. Let me tell you this to the men here. If you've never been to South America before in your life, you are missing out. I mean, maybe some of y'all in the comment section might be gay, but if you're not a gay man, if you're a man who likes women, I just want to say this real quick. Go to South America. You're welcome. Thank me later. Thank me later. If you like the most beautiful women that you will ever see, but the big part about it is that not only are the women beautiful, but they're nice. They're actually nice. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, man, there's way better places than America. Are you kidding? To deal with these fucking women out here? Oh, man, the headache of the women out here. Are you kidding me? Oh, thank you, Dylan, for the follow, man. Are you kidding? Yo, I remember, and I'll just say this real quick. I know this is besides the point, but I just want to throw this in here real quick since we're talking about other countries real quick. Man, I remember when I met some girl out in Brazil, and she was a pretty girl too, by the way. I remember the first day or like the second day that I met her, she came over to my house. She was already cooking and cleaning in my place. I was like, that ain't never happened to me in America, where a woman started cooking and I've had women that I've dated for like 6 months to a year and never cooked. So, yeah, man, there's other places that are popping more than America. Stop that. Stop that. Let's not talk about the food and the gas prices. Let's not talk about how they inject all the food out here with hormones and all kinds of stuff that gives you diseases. And then they have the medical community, the healthcare system, that they don't even take care of you in healthcare. And then they want you to be on Pfizer, just like they were telling everybody to get vaccinated out here. And then the guy that told everybody to get vaccinated, he went and got a pardon from the president and left and disappeared off the face of the earth. Let's not talk about all that happens in this country, okay? Let's not talk about all that. Let's not talk about let's keep it okay with this stream. Let's keep it okay. I don't know how deep I can really go, but let's not talk about the pandemic. Let's not talk about that and what happened in this country at that time and what was really going on around the world at that time. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, stop it. Stop it. There's a lot of countries out here that are popping way more than America. Way more. The only good thing to be in America for is if you are planning on being rich. That's the only thing I see about being in this country today is if you are planning on becoming rich. Now, yes, you can move out to some other parts and other cities like the South and other parts like that are probably less caring about that. But you know, I don't know. You see, Scrim, you're doing exactly what the typical American does. You read what you read in America telling you that Nigeria is at a level 4 travel risk. You know what's so funny is they said the same thing about Brazil when I went to Brazil. They said, watch out. It's in the red zone, level 4 danger zone, travel risk. Man, I went there. The people were so nice. The people were so cultural, good food all around. People enjoying, celebrating, dancing. Is that you see? You're believing too much of what you hear on the news. That's the problem. You're going. Of course, America's going to tell you don't travel. You know why? Because they want to keep you here. They don't want you to travel. They don't want you to see what's going on in other parts of the world. They want you to stay here. So they promote fear and propaganda here. Hence is why we have this case here. That's why you got this man standing here and you can see the fear in his eyes. You know what I mean? You see this right here and you see the fear in this man's eyes, and this is being blasted all throughout the news, all throughout social media. Because why? Because they want to promote fear. Paul Montez says people feel bad because of his age. Could be, man. Could be. But what I'm saying, though, is that this is a fear-based society. America is a fear-based society, and that's all they promote is fear. So, yeah, man. You know, that's what it is right here of what's being promoted. And again, like I said, man, I appreciate you guys jumping on, though, whether we agree or we disagree, or we can all agree to disagree. But this is a fear-based society, and this is a racist culture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For sure, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Scrim. I appreciate you. If he didn't put his hands on him, would he be here now? Shout out, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Likewise. Yeah, man. Like I said earlier today, thank you for chatting. I appreciate it. We can always agree to disagree on things. That's the way it is, man. Yeah. I think, like I said earlier, if you put your hands on another man, you got to be aware of that. You got to be careful of that. Krim says, I might give you a follow even though we're not on the same page, basically. I can kind of see it, but I know I should have put a black thing there. Hey, I appreciate it, man. That's what it's all about. Sometimes that's the whole point. We're supposed to have different ideas. And that's the cool thing, is that at least we can come to our differences, but our agreements too, without like getting all crazy or getting all mean towards each other and all that. So I appreciate that too. And I appreciate you too for that. That's what it's all about, man. Things don't have to always be nasty and ugly. And that's the same thing for this case. You see, but I'm a lot more mature, a lot older now. You know, if I would have known this gentleman, this young man, I probably would have told him, hey, man, maybe it's not a wise idea to carry a knife to school. I would have probably suggested that. But, you know, to each their own, man. To each their own. They think it's cool because they want to be tough. They want to be hard. They want to be violent. They think it's cool to be tough. But really, it's stupid. Yep, Paul, I agree with you, man. It's a tragedy all around. But like I said, man, don't sleep, y'all, on what is going on here in American culture. I think overall, the deeper side of this is that, in my personal opinion, I think that America promotes violence. I think America promotes violence, and I think they want violence to happen. You know, it's like kind of the reason why they put car chases on TV on the news. Like, why do y'all feel that it's necessary to show car chases or to show bank robberies? Like, why do y'all think that that's necessary? You know what I mean? But for some reason, the system feels that it's necessary to promote all this negativity on the news. You know, it's like this is why I don't even like checking the news in the morning. Because it's like you hear about this happened to so-and-so, or this person did that, or this happened at this school today. Trying to make an example. Interesting. I just said the same thing. Cardi B just tweeted on this. Kindness is the key. We can do better. I agree. Or sometimes it's also just knowing how to walk away. Sometimes that's what it is too, man. It's just knowing how to walk away. And like I was saying earlier, is that we got these people out here who just want to be so tough all the time. So Cardi B is against the decision. I agree. I think that they definitely wanted to make an example. I think they definitely wanted to make an example of him and say, hey, man, if you do this, especially to a white boy, this is what's going to happen to you. See, look, I just got some news coming in from TMZ right here. More negativity. It's all negativity, man. All negativity. We don't know if we're on play.
Okay. It's a free country. You're in public. You're in public. Okay. Okay. Well, you're in public. I'm just asking. Yeah.
Bitch, go!
Whoa.
Hey, move the camera, bro. They don't want to.
It's free speech. It's free speech. Why are you throwing stuff at us? Yeah. Why are you throwing stuff at us? What the hell's that? All right, well, they're throwing water bottles at us while we're recording. By the way, there's signs right here that says, self-defense is not a crime. Karmelo Anthony should do no time. And there's also this sign right here says, hands off. And this sign says, we stand.
Bitch, go!
Whoa.
Hey, move the camera, bro. They don't want to.
It's free speech. It's free speech.
I'm looking at some of the
Why are you throwing stuff at us? Yeah, why are you throwing stuff at us? What the hell's that? All right, well, they're throwing water bottles at.
Patrick says, yeah. Well, somebody said that he had got offered a plea deal, but I wasn't sure what the plea deal was that he got offered. I'm not sure what the plea deal was. But all I got to say is this, though, man, is that, yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy what's going on. Look, I've been on for about 2.5 hours. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to jump up out of here, but I appreciate you guys for jumping in on this chat with me, jumping in on this stream. We'll probably do some more of these. I'm sure that we can pick back up on this case. We're going to pick back up on this trial. So, yeah, man. You guys tell me if there's any other comments or questions that you guys got to say before we get up out of here. Like I said, I wasn't even planning on being on this long about this trial, but you know, we had to speak about it, man. This is a serious matter. This is a matter that needed to be spoken about, man. You know, and it makes a lot of us wonder if there's something broken in this justice system. Now, I will say this, though, man. I've been to Texas before. I've been to Texas. I know that not all of Texas is like this, but the Babylon Bee is weird. I got to say, some parts of Texas I think are racist, man. Like, no disrespect to the Spurs, but I've been to San Antonio, and I feel like I've experienced some racism in San Antonio. Paul says, you're still pro-white here, many cultures. Yeah? Where's that at? You must be in the South, huh? Or you mean the whole country, period. Patrick, I see your comment. I see what you're saying. Yeah, man. I think the racism definitely is what, or the race is what made it known. Oh, yeah. Oh, Paul, y'all in L.A. Okay. Yeah, man, L.A. got a lot of craziness going on, too, right now.
When a man walked up, what did you do?
There's a lot of tension in L.A., too.
You crossed your arm, but you aren't going to approach him one time like that. You're not going to approach him one.
You see, I got to say this, though, man. I don't have time to be out there protesting like this. Like, where I see all these people out here protesting, it's not going to change anything, man. But I guess people want their voices to be heard. You know what I mean? Let's see what this person said. Oh, here we go.
Fucking chimping out. Just niggered them everywhere.
They're saying chimping out. See what I'm saying? See how social media affects the racism out here? Everybody wants to say chimping out now. Everybody wants to say that. You know, it's starting to make me wonder. And you know what's funny too is that, or maybe it's not funny, but I should say what's interesting is that there was a time where I felt like America was going back to not being as racist as it was. Like, you know, when you read what was going on back in the days, back like in the 60s and the 50s and all that stuff, I started thinking like, okay, maybe we're getting better from that time. But then it's like, nah. Yeah, Paul, you say ICE is a super anti-cultural club. Yeah, we all know about the ICE thing. The Ice baby. We all know about that, man. Yeah, it's a very strange time in American culture. And the one dude, Scrim, you know, who was all pro-America, which is cool. I understand that we're going to get some of those people up in here. It's just kind of interesting to see their takes on this because the culture, yeah, man, the culture's just it's in a weird time right now, man. It's in a weird time right now, man, out here in this country. And I really think like everything is divided. You know, even in politics, if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, it's like you can go to certain states and say you're a Republican and then people are hating on you. Or you can go to certain states and say whatever, vice versa, and people are going to hate on you. So we're really at a time right now where we can't say that this is the United States, man. We really can't. And we got people out here acting like, oh, this is the United States. This is the United States of America. It's like, come on, man. It's really not. It's really not the United States.
Karmelo! Say his name! Karmelo! Say his name! Karmelo! What do we want? Justice! What do we want?
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. His GoFundMe has raised over $600,000. He's almost at $1 million. Let's see if he hits $1 million after this. After Rodney, King Mick Jackson, things became weak. Yeah, I agree with you, man. And we were saying the same thing. We were saying the same thing about that earlier today, man. And we were saying that about Michael Jackson, man. How it's interesting, like how he started talking about Sony Music and the powers that be, and then all of a sudden, look at what happened to him. Yeah, man. We're going to see what happens with this because I don't think that this is over yet. I don't think it's over. It could be. It could be. Who knows? Maybe something else may happen and then people might forget about this and move on. Who knows? I doubt it because I think there's going to be a lot of protests in the city of Texas or in that city in Texas, or shall I say the state of Texas. We'll see if it happens all around. But, yeah, man. Chris says you think it's over for him for sure. Possibly. It could be, man. I mean, a lot of people are saying that in the comment section, but when I see how much money that he's raising and how much money his GoFundMe is raising, it makes me feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll tell you this. Again, I don't think that he's going to do the full sentence. I don't think he is. And if he does do the full sentence, I'll tell you right now, I would be surprised. But there is a possibility that he could. He could do at least 20. To tell you the truth, I think there's a possibility where he might do like 10 and then something might happen. Maybe he'll get out. Who knows, man? Who knows? What do y'all think? Y'all think he's going to do the full sentence? Or do you think he might do like because he is eligible for parole. Now, see, this is another thing. That's what a lot of people got to say, man. This is the other thing. He could have got really screwed. You know what I'm saying? He could have never had the eligibility for parole. They actually are giving him a chance. They're giving him a chance to get out. He could have just been screwed to where he got that time with no eligibility for parole. So the fact that he actually is eligible for parole, he's lucky. I don't know if I agree with this take. I was just reading what somebody said right here, saying that he never got agreed with the to be able to make a mistake. Man, like I said, if y'all want to see some racism, go to Twitter. I don't think you're allowed to be that racist on other social media apps like TikTok and whatever it is, Instagram. I don't think you're allowed to be racist on there. But yeah. I'm just looking at what people are saying on Twitter, man. Twitter is racist, man. It's so racist. But you understand, this is the reason why Twitter is racist. Twitter is racist because the owner, Elon Musk, is racist. Oh, so people have cleared it up. Let's clear it up for the title. I know I'm going to have to change this on YouTube because now we have the fact checkers coming in. The jury was not all white. There was an Asian, a Hispanic, and a Middle Eastern. Oh, wow. Big difference. Yo, they weren't all white. There was an Asian and a Middle Eastern. Oh, man. Yeah. Blake says that Elon is definitely South African. Yes, he is, man. And you're going to tell me that they ain't racist. But have you seen what Elon Musk has been posting on his Twitter account? Let me tell you this. He just posted it today. I think I even bookmarked this. Let me see if I can pull it up. To tell you the truth, I bookmarked it. What Elon Musk said, I don't even know if I could even repeat it. He said, this is what Elon Musk said today on Twitter. He just said this. And let me put this on my screen for YouTube just so you guys can see that I'm not making this up. This is Elon Musk's account. He said, the truth is, I don't know if I can read the whole thing, but I'm just going to say it real quick. He said, the truth is there are vastly, and he capitalizes the word vastly in all caps. He puts this in all capital letters. More hate crimes, especially aggravated in grape and, I can't say the other word, per person by black against whites than the other way around. There is no debate. Yo, he posted that on his Twitter account today. Are y'all going to tell me that doesn't sound a little racist? Because we don't even know if those numbers are really true. I would say that there's more black on black crime than there is black against whites. I think that was even proven. That there's more black on black crime than black against white people. But the fact that Elon Musk goes and says this on his Twitter account just makes me go off to say to myself, is Elon Musk racist? Like, to the point to where he's not even hiding it anymore? Thank you, Robert. You say it's facts. Yeah, I'll probably have to look that up. I was under the impression that there's more black on black crime. But let's also not forget that salute. Remember the salute? I can't really do it all here, but you remember the salute that he threw up for Trump? We remember that, right? Oh, come on, man. That dude straight up threw up that salute. Try to act like, oh, that wasn't a salute. Man, that dude threw out his arm like straight. His arm went straight. So much to the point to like, what the heck is this guy thinking, man? Yeah, Robert Perkins says, I take back. I would say you're right. I think I am right, man. I think there's more crime against black people. I think black people are the number one crime against themselves. Just like it's also another statistic that 1 out of every 3 black men will go to jail at least once. At least once in America. 1 out of every 3 black men. That's a high statistic, man. So mostly every black person that you've probably met or encountered, whether they're your friends or coworkers or just somebody you know or somebody you might have seen, chances are 1 out of 3 of them has been to jail at least once. Until this country becomes 2, east and west of the Mississippi River, peace will never be. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, people will go through these situations, but it's all about how we learn from these situations. You know what I mean? It's all about how we learn from these situations that we go through. I have too. That was one of the reasons that made me want to start this channel, The Highly Evolved Men. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is what made me want to start this channel, was going through the injustice that I have gone through. Also the women too, and the culture of the dating culture. But and maybe I'll probably jump back on here later, because I think we're already about to get flagged here. I think we just saw the warning come up from TikTok. It's a deep subject, but thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. Yeah, I try to be, man, a well-informed person. I try to study the facts and try to study what's going on, and I look at both sides. And like I said, going back to this case, I don't think that either of them were right, man. I think that they both were in the wrong. I think they both were in the wrong for what happened here. But this is where the country's at, man. The country promotes violence and degeneracy. And thank you for the follow, Robert. I appreciate you. Yeah, like I said, I try to jump on here around this time. And I'm sure we're going to do some more talks on this because, like I said, I don't think that this is officially over yet. It could be for the most part. Like, I think he's going to get sentenced. I think he's going to do some time. But I think some things might pop up. I think we're going to see some things pop up, man, where it's going to be like, someone's going to say something. Someone's going to do something. Or someone's going to speak up on something. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe in a few weeks, maybe in a month, could be in a few years. Who knows? But I don't think that this is the end of this. I think that there's going to be some more talks on this. But thank you, Robert, for the follow. I appreciate you, man. You said, it's going to be an ongoing thing. Yes, I agree with that. I think that this is definitely going to be an ongoing thing. I don't think it's over yet. I think he's probably going to get some more funding. Who knows? Like I said, I don't know if an appeal is going to happen or if it's going to work in his favor. Not sure what happened with the whole lawyer system, but I don't think, like somebody had said in the comments earlier, I don't think it matters what lawyer he has. Likewise, I don't think it mattered what lawyer he had, man. I think once they put that juror up, I think he was going to do the time. Yeah, once they put that juror up, appreciate you, fam. He was going to do the time, regardless. So they were gonna run him. That's the whole point. Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Oh, wait. Okay, no, this is another country. I was about to say, do we have the riots already starting? Or the riots starting? Because who knows how it's going to be, man, in Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if something starts happening. This is definitely something that if the Black Lives Matter didn't get exposed, this is definitely something that the Black Lives Matter would be at. Because that's what somebody even went up and had said. Yeah. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to probably jump up on here again a little bit later. But yes, man, I thank you guys for tuning in. About to jump up out of here. We've been going for about 3 hours. So, heck of a stream, though, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I think this has definitely been one of my biggest ones. I thank all of y'all that have followed. You guys tell me what time works best for you for me to jump on these streams. I usually do these in the morning, but I decided to come on here a little bit later in the night to jump on here to do this. But, yes, man. Thank you guys, man. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you. Shout you out, Robert. Shout out, Paul. I appreciate your guys' comment. Even Scrim. Appreciate you, even though we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. Blake, Chris, shout you out. This is the highly evolved man. Patrick, I appreciate you. Yeah, man. We'll probably jump on here a little bit later and have these real talks and these real debates, man. Because, yeah, like I said, we got to speak about what's going on here, and we got to speak about the truth. That's what's up, yo. So make sure you guys might tune in a little bit later to what we might have and what we might speak about. For now, I'll play this before I get up out of here. Or if I get one more thing. Or should we get that? Thank you guys for tuning in, though. Let me play this real quick before we get up out of here. Crazy case, though, man. Crazy case, crazy dilemma. Y'all be safe out there. And real quick, I'm going to leave you guys with this too. Be careful on the decisions that you make out there. Paul says, go San Antonio. We'll see about that, man. I want the Knicks to win. I think it'll be more exciting if the Knicks win. But I'll say this, though, man. Be careful about the decisions that you make out there, man, in the streets. Because that's what a lot of people have been speaking about, that a split decision can decide your fate. And that's what happened right here, man, with this man. This man made a decision where he didn't really think clearly. And the fact that he did what he did really makes you wonder what was going on in his household. Like, what was going on? But people said he was bullied all the time. And like, some of these people's take just doesn't make any sense. And maybe that's the reason why he had a weapon. Am I allowed to play Fuentes on no, I'm not. I really want to hear his take, but I don't think I'm allowed to play him. You know why? Because last time I played like an Andrew Tate or Nick Fuentes speech, the video got flagged. So I don't think I'm allowed to do that. As a matter of fact, I think this video got flagged. So, yeah, I think we should just wrap this one up. We out of here. But thank you guys, man. We'll jump back on another one and have another talk a little bit later. Thank you guys, man. Appreciate y'all. We're going to play this before we get up out of here. Play a speech by one of this is the lawyer.
All it showed very clearly that a black boy was allowed, not one black soul on a jury.
Okay.
All.
And I just want to emphasize real quick that I think this is the attorney, and the attorney is saying that he was not allowed one black person on that jury. So some people said in the comments that they refuse to have black people in the jury. So we don't know if that's 100% true or a fact yet. But yeah.
It showed very clearly that a black boy was allowed, not one black soul on a jury. An all white jury convicted him in 2 to 3 hours.
Another thing I'll bring up too real quick is that I guess they consider Asian and Middle Eastern white because this is the attorney speaking right here, and the attorney is clearly saying that it was an all-white jury, even though we know technically it was not. But I guess if we're going as far as race or what you fill on an application, it is considered to be white.
We know that they did not prove their case. They are currently sentencing Karmelo Anthony, but we know that the Next Generation Action Network put the first $10,000 towards an appellate attorney. And we will fight Colin